Thursday morning, couple of quick takes on what's happening. Hugh Hefner has died. While a lot of people are heckling him for his lifestyle, it's important to remember that this was a guy who in the 1950s and 1960s was a champion of civil rights like gay rights. He kept employing people of color at a time when governments were giving him serious trouble at the state level for doing so. He was one of the key players that made Roe versus Wade go the way it did in the US Supreme Court, making abortion legal. So even though some like to heckle him for his controversial lifestyle, or at least non-mainstream lifestyle, this is a person who contributed a lot to those civil liberties we take for granted today. Second, Bitcoin price is rising a lot. It's up 10% in the last 24 hours. This is what looks like a major rally. In the past, when a rally has taken a break like this and then come back and started rallying again, it has continued the rally just as much after that little pause as it did before. So the next couple months are going to be very interesting. I'm not going to say a number, and obviously past performance does not indicate future expectation, or past expectations is no indication of future performance, and so on, blah blah blah. But past performance is all we have as a guide, and it's going to be really interesting to see if that rally continues just as much as the rally did up to this point, which was from 900 or so up to 5,000 with a brief break. Last and most importantly, the Bitcoin community is intensifying in being rude, unpleasant, and generally nasty to each other. This is not the way you take on big finance. This is not the way you create the reserve currency of the future. Yes, Nixon might have gotten away with it. The European Central Bank might have gotten away with it, being unpleasant, being rude. We're not going to be getting away with that. So yeah, being rude and unpleasant is a surefire way to distract your opponents. But this is a time where this community at least needs to show each other respect. The Bitcoin community has chosen to divide. That means each of the teams, each of the factions, if you like, can pursue their dreams, pursue their goals, unhindered by those who no longer share them. This is a good thing. This means we have free market competition, which is something I think we all cherish at the end of the day. I posted a tweet saying that I will no longer tolerate that kind of rudeness and unpleasantness. And as a colleague of mine responded that that was a rare case of attracting all the vitriol, completely proving the point. So seriously, guys, you might disagree, but at least have the decency to disagree with a bit of courtesy. At least acknowledge that even if your freedom of speech can allow you to say anything you want about the other team or whatever, then their freedom of assembly also allows them to show you the door and not want to work with you for being unpleasant and rude. Being rude is not the way we win this war. Because our war is not between the Bitcoin chains. Our war is against the entire old world. We're up against roughly $40 trillion of action power. So let's at least acknowledge that we have different visions and allow them to compete on the free market. That's the bloody least we owe each other. Until next Thursday.